Hello, I'm Scott Bogey here with Jesse Stirn ahead of his fight against Jose Perez. How are you doing today?
Doing good, Scott. Good to talk to you.
Great to talk to you as well. Coming up to this fight, how has the preparation been?
As good as normal. It's one of those processes you slightly change and perfect over the years, and I think I'm on my 14th year now fighting. I'm getting to be old, so everything's pretty well dialed in, but yeah, everything's good.
And you did just mention you are getting pretty old in this fight game. However, you are doing some very good things late on. You're on a running a five-fight win streak currently. Has there
Mhm.
been anything which changed, which got you on this, or had it just been everything's just comes together now?
I like to do a saying just keep playing the game. I think anybody will break through the tiers. It's all knowledge based. It's the more you know, the better you will do. Not just skill wise, but just perspective wise. And if you keep playing the game, get through the years, get through the hardships, you'll eventually unlock a few perspectives that make things easier for you. The right people to follow, the right coaches to talk to, who's not there for you, who is there for you, what knowledge you need to seek, and making the corrections you need to. And I think for me, at least, I'm 32 now. I think I'm going to probably do my best years the next couple years and then probably go downhill after that. But we'll see. I'm highly IQ and skill based anyway, so my attributes don't usually play a bit too big of a part. I'm babbling now, but
No, it's completely fine. And you in your last fight, it was against I think it was like Josh Blyden. I think that's how you pronounce it. How
Rex.
that was a decision victory. How did that fight go for you?
It was very well, felt very comfortable overall. Was in a few bad positions early on, but stayed calm. And when he had my back and worked out of it and let him burn a little bit and made the adjustments and felt good after that. But it was
And
good.
and it was on the final card for the PFL season last year, the World Championships. Do you feel like was there any added pressure that it was on the World Championships and not on one of these other cards like the playoffs or the regular season?
No pressure, and I intentionally make it that way. Especially in the last couple of years, I don't care about the wins and the losses. Any sort of superstitions, all of that can go out the window. Anything that builds anxiety I took off my tool belt a long time ago. No pressure. I could lose, I could win. I still won't care as long as I'm getting better. Eventually, the losses will just stop. Technically, right? The better you
Exactly.
get.
And this is your second stint in the PFL. Last time you did go 0-2. One was in the regular season. This time, hopefully, we'll go 2-0. How was it to get that call back from the PFL asking you to come back?
It came at a good time. It was at a time where it was still, I guess, down in the regionals, I guess you would say, where the pay is much less and the pressures of life were high pressure. So had to face a decision. And when that call came and the money shot way up, it was needed. It was a big pressure off my shoulders.
Exactly. And how have you felt the PFL have exploded in recent years? Obviously, they are signing big names like Francis Ngannou, and they have got other big celebrities coming in like Jake Paul, Amanda Serrano, Savannah Marshall. How has PFL's game just exploded?
They're making the proper investments. Obviously, they have some money following them, and they're using that money to lay the seeds for a bigger, better future. And personally, my own personal view, like everybody's going to follow the money for their own personal, and myself included. You want to make a living, but I really do agree with the yearly format and the lack of politics that it entails. If you win, you go forward. If you lose, you go down. And I like that a lot. Setting a set roster, I think it's the way of the future. To be honest, I prefer it and to fight often.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. Is with the PFL, they do have the regular season. You'll fight this state, and then the playoffs. Do you prefer that kind of format?
Yes, yeah. I would like it if they added an extra fight in during the season, making it three fights to see your seeds for the playoffs. But then we're still getting a stacked schedule. There's only so many times you can fight. The one good thing about this format is a lot of people cutting the super extremes, like the super extremes amount of weight, and injuries. They are deciding to move up a weight class, which is a little bit healthier overall for consistency, being able to make that weight often throughout the year. So overall, I think it just forces people to make better decisions for their health, even though they're fighting more often, as weird as that sounds.
Yeah. And is how is that different from like other organizations? Do you with the other ones, do you have like an idea of when you'll get back in the cage, or is it just you're waiting until the rings?
Uh, what do you mean? Like, will I get a call from other organizations? Will I
No.
take it?
No, so when you are like in other organizations with the PFL, they have that set schedule. After your fight with other organizations, are you just waiting until that phone rings for a fight? Or do you have an idea when they're thinking about getting you back in?
I have no idea. It's up to the discretion of both the PFL and any other organization out there. There's always whispers of, hey, we might need you coming up from all the organizations, say the UFC, ONE FC, but you never know for sure. They're always going to pick whatever it is in their best interest. And I can't blame them. It's their company. So my job is just to simply just keep getting better until the pressures of life force me to take another route. But my job's simple. Just stay ready.
And how is your contract situation with PFL? Are you strapped in for a few fights, or are you a fight by fight basis?
As far as I know, single. They always keep it that way until they revamp the roster at the beginning of every year. So come January, February, you'll get a call or you won't get a call. Last year I didn't get a call, even though I was expecting so. But I mean, like I said, I can't blame them. They will do what they need to. And when you do the merger with Bellator, they just did recently, it's very hard to compete for me.
Yeah.
Notoriety wise with a lot of the people they're pulling in. So I can't blame them at all.
And you were saying you were expecting a call last year. Is that because you thought your performances got you in there, or did you have that ear that we're considering you?
It's nice to know that they were considering me, but yes, it's because of the performances. It's because of the win streak. It's because of the
Yeah.
record, being available, being reliable, all those things combined. And then in the end, when you're being considered for certain things, it's not always about the promotion. They leave it up to the person you're going to fight to make a decision on. They give them 3 or 4 different people to choose from, and they just
Yeah.
didn't choose me. So
Well, that could just be because they knew that you were going to beat them. So that's one way to looking at it.
I mean, I guess that's good as well. But money in the pocket in a fight is very nice too.
Exactly. And so obviously this is a one fight contract. Do you feel like you could get a call from Bellator after this?
Sure. Or UFC or PFL. It could be any one of them as long as one of them wants me and I can fighting. I just need to fight enough to keep the finances steady. Because they don't pay us that much, so I got the budget. But I'm in this industry for life, so every single time any of the big promotions ask me to fight, that's a good half a year to a year of expenses that I can cover. So that keeps me training. So keep calling me. I don't care who it is. Call me. PFL, I like to be busy. So if they want to call me, great. I like fighting. So.
And you were saying before we got on this, you were at your previous job. How
Mhm.
how is it balancing that work life with the stuff in the cage?
It's difficult. It's very difficult, especially when you get to a certain tier of fighter where everybody is training full time, myself included. And I'm pretty much using the rest days that I should be getting proper rest to work a job to get supplemental cash so I can keep the dream alive. So it's not ideal when you're pulling the workload of an Olympic athlete and still having to maintain a part-time job. I maintain a part-time job as of right now to help supplement my finances month to month. It's
Well,
not
that's it.
ideal, but I don't have a choice. Unfortunately, the fight world doesn't pay enough yet.
Exactly. Well, hopefully with a few more wins, you'll be able to get there. And
Hope
throughout
so.
throughout your career, you have been able to pick up trophies and titles, whether it was your amateur career or in your professional. I feel like it was Shogun. I think that was one of the titles you got as your professional one.
Yeah.
How was it getting your hand raised and getting that belt round your waist?
It was a bit of a dream because I didn't expect to win that particular belt. I think if I remember right, it was against Mike Easton, who was good top 15 in the UFC for a long time, and he left the UFC, went into retirement, and then decided to come back out and give it another shot. And that was just when I was coming up the ladder. So I actually have a picture of the guy that. I was a fan of his when I first started as an amateur, and I have a picture with him as an amateur, and then I have a picture of him when we fought each other. I didn't expect to win that fight at all, but just to go out there and have no pressure on my shoulders, just go out there and have fun and do what I need to. That was quite the experience. I mean, the belt was kind of a side note
Yeah,
compared to the, you got to fight an idol that, from your early days. It was nice.
exactly. And how was it transitioning from that amateur career to that professional? Obviously, as moving up, you are now able to do those needs and you have a lot more to your arsenal. How was that?
There's a lot more paperwork involved and a lot more medicals, but other than that, even in the amateur career, I had fought in states that allowed full rules with elbows and knees and everything, no shin guards. So it was something I was already experiencing, but now I'm just getting paid for it. So it was actually a little bit of a bonus. But no, it's a lot more paperwork, a lot more medicals, a lot more deals, a lot more sponsorship stuff, selling tickets. The stress load did go through the roof for sure as far as workload. I wasn't expecting that. But like everything else, you just adjust and learn the craft. So I did.
And you were coming out of your amateur career undefeated. Did you feel like that was you resetting it when you went to that pro scene?
No, no. Like you said, I haven't lost before that point. Well, I did lose in kickboxing and jiu-jitsu tournaments. So it's not like I didn't taste defeat before. I thought the pressure did increase because the amateur career doesn't matter as much as the professional career. Now
Yeah,
I could, regardless what my record is, I'm a firm believer that as long as you learn from your losses, eventually you'll never lose again, theoretically. So if you're 10 wins and 10 losses and you're fighting a guy who's 20-0, and you beat him, I mean, what are they going to say about that? It's as long as you get better, that's it. Sure, but with the Mayweather effect, if you have a more flawless record, there's a better chance you'll get to money quicker and not end up in my circumstance. So that's a good thing to think about too.
and
Yeah.
obviously your gym is, I'm pretty sure, Ground Control Academy. How have they been in
Yep.
your progress?
They nurtured me in the early days and provided all the facilities and I needed to grow and all the bodies. I do gym hop a lot more nowadays. We have a network of professionals that we have many gyms from all over the area that all the professionals get together and work together. Even if they have to fight each other one day, it's we're all sharing knowledge and going through. I mean, Crazy 88's another gym I go to fairly often that has been majorly helpful. There's a long list of gyms that we're all just helping each other now, which is the way to go.
Exactly. So do you have a schedule on set days? Like, do you do the match Monday, gym Tuesday? What's your schedule like for the week?
Yeah, I have a set schedule every week, usually down to the hour. I have everything mapped out and I give it to all my coaches. So everybody I'm doing at all times. I usually have set schedule as far as grappling time and striking time, and then some mixed martial arts time where I have a set skill thing that I'm trying to acquire that week. And then I come in and work with the coaches and the other partners to implement those skills and sharpen them up with also a strength and conditioning schedule and a few days for work. But everything is set on a schedule down to the hour and it doesn't bend or break. I keep myself accountable.
Well, that sounds great. And how has the PFL treated you compared to the other organizations you fought in? I know you fought in other big ones like K Fury, and how have the PFL compared to those other organizations?
They're all fantastic, to be honest. Just the way, just having a few lower end regional promotions early on. I've been to some in certain areas where they really don't help you out at all. They leave it a disorganized mess, and I think they do it on purpose to help their guy. But even some regional shows like Shogun, CFFC, they've all treated me like gold. And then PFL even better just because they have the funds to really take care of your behind the scenes needs, like the travel, the rooms, the extra amenities, everything. They've been above and beyond, treated me amazing.
Well, that sounds great. Well, thank you for coming on today. That was fantastic. I wish you the best of luck for your fight. Do you have anyone else you're wanting to shout out? I'll give you the final word.
It's simple and easy, way too many to name. Thank you for doing this, Scott. And if anybody wants to see who's involved in my life and who's helped me get to this place that I'm at, just check out my Instagram. Just the first letter J, then my last name Stirn, and then the number 27. and go explore and see all the foundations and all the organizations that I follow and that have helped me get to where I am. They're all good people. I only try to keep good people around me.
Well, that sounds great. Best of luck for your fight, and I'm rooting for you to get the win.